Well, welcome back, my friends all, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, a mini Cyborg Jack Wolf Knives rendition. Now listen, we're going to do this way different. I did my opening of the packaging and all that this morning, cut some paper, and I'll show you that at the end. In fact, what I'll do is at the end, I'll use that for my causes, so we'll do this reverse. Guys, Ted Williams was probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, hitter to ever live in baseball. Ted was the only man in history to bat for an over 400 average in a season, and he loved hitting. He used to say he could see the smoke come off the bat. The only other man that's ever said that was Mark McGwire. But the thing about Ted Williams, guys, was this. He was not only a great baseball player, he was not only a great average hitter, but he was a phenomenal home run hitter. In fact, he would be way, way higher on the list had he not served in World War II and Korea. 2 years each, in fact. He was John Glenn's wingman. John Glenn said Ted Williams was the greatest wingman to ever live. Ted Williams was also in the Anglers Hall of Fame. I mean, the dude did it all. He was a man's man. But at the end of the day, Ted was a hitter. That's what he did. That's what he loved. In fact, the story is told when Ted was managing, I believe it was the Washington Senators. They were taking fielding practice one day, and Ted noticed a couple of his assistant coaches were having a pretty heated argument down at first base. So he kind of sauntered down there, and they were arguing over how to run a particular drill. So Ted listened for a minute. Finally, they said, "Coach, what do you think?" And Ted Williams said, "Screw it, let's hit." Now, he didn't say screw it, but we're not going to say the other word. Guys, hitting for Ted is like cutting for me. There's a lot of nuances to baseball, and certainly Ted was good at them. I'm not saying that. There was a lot of things to baseball, but at the end of the day, Ted was a hitter. He was a pure hitter. He loved it, and he would fall back to hitting. He loved talking it with Tony Gwynn. He loved hitting. For me, cutting is like hitting was for Ted, and I'll tell you what I mean. This is a Jack Wolf's mini Cyborg. Now, I've been doing Jack Wolf knives now for right at a year, maybe better. I love doing it. I am appreciative to Ben Belkin for the opportunity. And let me just say this real quick. I would have never gotten this opportunity had it not been for Brandon Thrasher, Weekend Warrior. Brandon sent me, I believe, every one of his Jack Wolfs to try out, and that's kind of how I got on their radar. So if you are not subscribed to Brandon Thrasher, you really should be. He's an awesome guy, an awesome man. And Brandon, I love you, brother. I'm so sorry that all the bullshit you got to put up with YouTube, but I want you to know that this whole community is here for you. Guys, if you're not subscribed, please go subscribe to Brandon. It's weekend_warrior. I'll put a link in the description. In this year's time, I've tried to do videos like other guys do, right? I've tried to show you the packaging, and I've tried to do all of these things, and I've tried to get the nuances down. And at the end of the day, screw it, let's cut. And I'm not giving up on it, but I want to explain what I mean. There are a bunch of channels who review these knives, and man, they do an amazing job. They really do. I got to put a little more pressure on that. Donnie V All Day just did a review on it. And they can tell you the nuances of the knife and all the little details very, very well. I can't. My knife acumen, especially for slip joints and high-end slip joints, and this certainly is just not there. What I can do is cut. So what we're going to do, and I hope that this adds some benefit to you. Now, a slip joint gets a lot of hate here and there. You either love them or you hate them. Here's my thing with them. I am hell-bent on using them. You know, I've had people say, well, Scab, you know, technology's changed. Technology has nothing to do with why I want to use a slip joint. In fact, if you can use a slip joint, there's not a knife on this planet you can't use and use well. My grandsons are going to learn with a slip joint, right? It's the nuance of it. It's learning to cut. A slip joint is as good a knife as any other knife in the right hands or in the skilled hands. I'm not there yet. We're going to get there though. So what I thought with this video, because honestly, guys, if I sit there and try to point out all the little nuanced things, I'm just regurgitating what somebody else has said and said better than I can. So I'm going to do what I do better than I feel like a lot of people, and that's cut. We're going to cut all kind of mediums. A little push cut here. We're going to cut all kind of mediums and just shoot the shit for a minute. And the truth is, guys, the thing with Jack Wolf, they are a high-end knife. It is. It's made, I believe these are the fat carbon dark orange scales. Now I should be able to give you a little bit better look somewhere. I'll put it picture in picture. But I love everything about this knife. Now you see the danger of cutting out here and being out here with the sand. But I like the way it fits in the hand here. I can really do, now I'm not going to push on that blade, it's a slip joint. The one thing I will talk about with a Jack Wolf, I like the nail clip there, is the walk and talk, right? So let me show you that. Boom. You hear that pop, you hear that snap. And I like the way this comes together. Everything is well done. The steel is S90V, very thin, very, very thin. I don't know if we're going to be able to show. Very, very thin behind the edge. It is a slicer. It's a clip point. Gorgeous knife, man. That's one thing nobody is ever going to take away from a Jack Wolf knife. It's just a gorgeous knife. Now, for those of you wondering, and you're new to the channel, this is reinforced sandblast hose. Now, I realize that very, very few people are going to use a $300, $350 knife to cut sandblast hose with. I realize that. But I also realize that I am a knife channel, right? So I'm going to do things that most people won't, so you don't have to. But if you get in a situation, you're like, damn, I need a good knife, you'll know it works. Now, Jack Wolf sent me this for review, so I am playing with house money. But again, I look at things differently. If they're going to send me a knife to review, right, we're going to push it. If I'm going to get this knife in for quote unquote free, which it's not, I mean, I put the time and effort in, but if I'm going to get it in for free, then I'm not going to baby it. Why? They send me this knife to cut. I guarantee you, if you went up and asked Ben, hey, do you send Scab a knife to show? He'd probably laugh hysterically. He knows what I'm doing with it, right? They send it for a reason, and that's to cut. Now, I'm being very careful here. I know sometimes it doesn't appear that way, and sometimes I cut myself because I'm not. But today I'm paying attention. We've got a really, really thin blade that could do some wicked, wicked damage in a hurry. So here's the deal. We've cut that. Now if a train comes, I'm just going to be quiet and do some cutting, and y'all follow along. I do want to mention too, real quick, if you really ever pay attention to my videos, I know I ramble and I know I get off topic, but if you really look at the materials we cut, it's pretty insane, right? And again, ratchet strap is thicker than a seat belt. So I know if I cut this, I can cut any seat belt in the world. It's tougher or thicker than a lot of hides. Not all hides, but if you can cut this or strip this, I feel like you could translate that over. Let me say this too. I realize a lot of times guys put these in the pocket and it's pocket candy, right? It's eye candy. It's all of these things. The thing that I like is this. If a knife can't cut, if the edge geometry is not there, if it won't hold an edge, if the heat treat is off, if it is not a cutter, for me, for Scab, it's worthless. Not for the collector, I'm not saying that. I'm saying for me, as someone who uses a knife in a day-to-day situation, as someone who uses a knife. Now this one's, you see it's kind of torn, ripped. We're not being deceptive, but we're going to go ahead and cut it there. I want a knife that can cut. I want a slicer. I want a knife that's going to get the job done. Now, we did a live this morning, kind of an impromptu type thing, and I'll start doing them more and more, but I showed over here the bag of sand. The reason that thing gets so sketchy when we unload it is because we got to stick our hand up while it's being held in the air by a forklift and cut while holding the bag, cutting the bag. So my knife that I open that damn sandbag with had better be sharp, or where I can't stand there for 25, 30, 40 seconds. I got to cut it and go. I want a knife that's sharp. I would use this knife in a hurry. And I want to mention this too. The thing is, guys, I feel obligated, and I'm just being honest with you. I feel obligated. When I get a knife in for review, I feel obligated to do some of this cutting. Now, I'm learning as I go. I'm not one of these guys who's going to get on here and act like I know everything. There are certain topics I'm better versed in than others. But when it comes to learning about a knife, I'm all ears. The day, I want you to listen to me, the day that I feel like I know everything that I need to know about a knife is the last day I'll ever put up a video. That's part of the fun for me. I love cutting, I love learning, I love all that. But the thing with this journey is this. I want to be, and this always, I guess, comes off wrong, but if you know me, you know what I mean. I want to be the best in the business at what I do. Now, I realize to do that, I'm going to have to up my acumen. I'm going to have to up my knife game. I'm going to have to up all that. But I also feel like right now I'm at a good point in my life physically. And while I can still, and I work at a job where I have materials. And I work at a job where they know exactly what I do, exactly when I do it, and how I do it, and they don't mind. I may not have these opportunities again. So while I have the opportunity, I want to take it. Now, before we get too far into this thing, this knife, the Mini Cyborg, is dropping Friday, May 17th. I believe that's it. Yeah, Friday, May 17th at 2 p.m. I am going to put the Cyborg video from Benjamin from Jack Wolf Knives website in the description. He's got a list of dealers. These things go live at 2 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, May 17th. Don't miss that. If you want one of these, I'm telling you, because they go fast. It's a great little knife. And honestly, while we've been sitting here talking, we cut the shit out of some stuff. So here's what we're going to do. I don't even know how long we got in this video. What I am going to do is I brought certain things. I've got an extension cord I want to cut. And I realize, guys, I've had people say, well, we don't cut it. I know that. There's 99% of this shit you don't cut. I get it. I'll clean that up in a minute. Again, translate it over. I peeled an apple. And let me just say this. Nothing against New Zealand. It's more against that company. Somebody says, Scab, eat the peel. I think it was Blue Eyes White Dragon. Brother, I'd eat the peel, but the last time I ate a convenience store apple, it was not good at all for old Scabberooski. I'm trying to lose weight, but I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying. It's getting near lunchtime, so we'll not be vulgar or gross. The thing that I like about this knife, we talked about cutting up front. The thing that I like about the knife, thin behind the edge, good blade geometry, S90V, it's going to hold an edge. It's comfortable. Okay, with a slip joint, I like that. I like that a lot. Some people do, some people don't. For me, with these old busted ass hands, and I can get in there, and again, I'm trying to push back here. Okay, I'm not pushing the blade forward. Push here, put pressure, feels great. Let me tell you another thing I love, and I think every single knife maker that ever sells a slip joint should give these. And listen, you say, Scab, I don't like it. 99% of what I say somebody's not going to like. I'm okay with that. You know why I like it? Because I'm in a bad environment for slip joints, for pocket knives. I throw this in my little slippy here. Absolutely love it. All right, let's get with it and we'll get on down the road. Piece of extension cord. Now years ago, well, it wasn't that long ago. I was doing it when I started the channel. I located underground utilities. I stripped wire every day of my life. Give you a good look at that edge, and you take a good look at the edge. No damage, no cuts, no wrinkles, no rime. Now guys, I realized the other day when I was showing this, I've got the camera facing the other way. I'm trying to get better. And let me say this too, we're at, I think, 86,000. We're steamrolling to 100,000. When I get past 100,000, I'm going to invest in some better camera equipment, okay? I realize we're kind of getting to a point now where, you know, we need to upgrade a little bit. But the truth is, I can't see. Let's try to do a little push. I'm a little hesitant here. Matter of fact, let's don't push all the way through. We've cut it 3 or 4 times. We've proved it can cut it. Let's try to just do this, boom. Let's do this, boom. Let's see if I got it down pat. Oh, look at old Scabbard. Perfect. We'll do a push cut with nothing. I'll tell you the truth, guys. Not only am I appreciative for Jack Wolf, I am a fan, and I am impressed. Now y'all see, when I tell y'all about crap laying in the sand and dirt, I'm not lying. You've seen it fly off. Let's cut this, cut 2 more things, and get the hell up out of here. Remember, at the end, I'm going to show you the beginning, and I'll do my causes in that point there. Again, and the whole Jack Wolf team, man, thank you for taking the time and trusting me to send me something. I appreciate that very much. And I appreciate that you guys make a kick-ass knife. A little wood, a little woody ditty here. It's really nice thin slices. And this, let me tell y'all something, this wood is dry as a bone, son. Love it. All right, I know this one was kind of different. I hope you enjoyed this style, a little more relaxed and just kind of talking. I've got a couple of videos coming out. Probably gonna run another one tonight, guys. I'm catching up slowly. And I hope you'll check them out. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the comments. Thank y'all for just being who you are. I know sometimes it feels like I focus more on trolls and haters, guys. That's not the truth. Without you guys that love and support this channel, I wouldn't do it. Just gonna be honest with you. And let me say this too. From time to time, and we'll wrap it up, from time to time, I'm gonna have companies on here that aren't popular. I'm gonna have companies on here that may or may not have a bad reputation. If you don't like a company on here, or you feel that they've done wrong, you are welcome to put that in the comments. I'll never stop you from doing that. All I ask is that you be courteous, and I think you all know who I'm talking about, but I don't like bringing it up on other knife companies' videos. I'll just say this. I respect a lot of you, the ones that I know, the ones who've rode with me, and we're going to disagree from time to time, and that's okay. That has nothing to do with my love and appreciation for you. That's just life. Having said that, guys, let's go to the beginning. Again, Ben, Jack Wolf, thank y'all. That's a hell of a knife, son. The Mini Cyborg dropping May 17th, 2 p.m. Check them out. Link in the description to the video. It'll tell you how to do it. I'm gone, son. Love y'all. Well, thank you, Scab. I'm just going to be honest with you, son. That was probably one of your better Jack Wolf videos you've ever done. Guys, I'm a fan of Jack Wolf for a lot of reasons, but the biggest reason, it just hits me in the feels. Jack Wolf was named after Benjamin Belkin's grandfather. I love my grandfather dearly, and I totally relate to that. Thank you for checking it out. I know this has been a long one, way longer than we normally do, but I honestly had fun. It was a blast, and I like just being able to chill and talk with y'all some. If you're still here, and I doubt many of you are, let's do our causes. Guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. We're headed into the weekend. The real numbers are anywhere between 15 and 29. That's why here on this channel we focus on the number 0. It doesn't matter if it's 15, 22, 29. It's unacceptable. And all that means in this world is this: vets, man, you have a place here. You're welcome here without hearing any stupid shit other than my normal daily ramblings. You have a place here. I back the blue. It's not popular in this day and age, and a lot of times, guys, Leo hadn't helped themselves. But it's something I feel strongly about. But I also believe in personal freedoms and personal choice. I'll never shove anything down your throat. It is something I believe in. My kid's a cop, and he's a veteran, although these causes have nothing to do one with the other. I'll never, ever, ever try to convince you anything, but I'll never change my stance. Well, I won't change my stance. You know what I'm saying. Everything changes. Hunter, son, I love you. I know you're a cop. Don't screw up. Don't let Dad down. That way I don't have to change my stance. Totally screwed that up, but we're way too far in. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, if you can't tell, never quit quitting. Man, I love y'all. Ben, love you, brother. Thank you so much. Brandon Thrasher, love you, brother. Hey, I love y'all. I'm Scab. You're not. And I'm gone, son. Jack Wolf, Mini Cyborg.